Hello, passengers. This is your Chappy speaking, and welcome back to Chappy's Wild Reviews, the show where I talk about current, semi-current things, or just anything I kind of want to talk about in almost a review sort of manner, but a lot more rambly. As you know, I like to ramble. So, without further ado, let's get into today's subject, and that is Steven Universe, the movie. Well, or just might as well, I'll probably be talking about the series in whole as I proceed. Yeah, that's the word I'm looking for. So, anyway. So, for those uninformed what Steven Universe is, it is a cartoon on Cartoon Network which made its debut back in 2013. And just recently, it now has its very own movie, self-titled Steven Universe the Movie. How clever. But in all honesty, it should have been called Steven Universe the Musical, but that's something to get into later, so I can't really start talking about the movie without first talking about the series itself. So, as I just stated, Steven Universe premiered on Cartoon Network back in 2013 to pretty alright, I don't want to say reviews, but praise. Like this, to be honest, the series kind of started off just alright, like nothing bad, but nothing to really write home about. And I don't remember like quite too much buzz around it until like maybe a year after that in 2014, after like some big events in the series happening. But I was kind of different, just like anything new, especially animated. I always like to check out at least the first few episodes to see if I like it. So I watched this series from the very beginning, and just like I kind of stated before, it's like, yeah, this is pretty alright, and like nothing to write home about until I remember one particular episode, the episode called Too Many Birthdays. That was the episode where I was kind of like, no, this is going to be something big. I can feel it just from what the episode did. But anyway, the show has been going on for the last, let's see, it's 2019, 2013, so yeah, 6 years.
Quick maths.
Which, it's not, like, it hasn't been released in a more typical fashion, but it's still, like, what I mean is, like, this show doesn't have a regular schedule like other shows would, but to be fair, no Cartoon Network show does. But this show always got released in, like, burst, which the fans have called Steven Bombs, where it would just be, like, 5 weeks where you'd get a new episode, one new episode every week. No, it might not have been a week, it might have been a new episode every day. Or at least it's been like that back and forth. Like sometimes they do an episode a week, and other times they do an episode a day. But I digress. And it's kind of weird. I shouldn't even say weird, but this show has gotten quite popular, and it's got like a big following online. But I'm not here to talk about that, and I'm almost surprised this show ever picked up fans, despite kind of this. The best way to put it, it's like very first trailers were nonetheless to say they were pretty bad. Like, if I can find it, I'll put it up here. But it's neither here or there. But the show is not one that gets like regular reruns. I don't even know if they really play it on the network that often unless for new stuff, but I've kind of been watching rewatching the series myself on Hulu, and Hulu informs me that it's played every day at 6 a.m. in the mornings. So I don't even know if that counts, but yeah, I've always really liked the series. I like it probably for the bright colors, the clean animation, the animation style itself, the music, and the general story's something to really enjoy. So, back like a year ago, I don't quite remember when. If I had to guess, it was probably back in 18, like winter, where the season 5 ended, and just like the final episode of season 5 seemed like a series finale more than a season finale. But even before then, but the main point is, like, after that episode aired, they aired a trailer for the upcoming movie. And like I said, that movie was Steven Universe the movie, and it was also kind of the case, like, how cleanly the last episode ended. Just seemed like there wasn't much more story to be told. It just seemed like everything was wrapped up nicely, but nevertheless, they were still gonna have this movie that was dated to be released in fall. And I guess September is technically the start of fall, even though I always associate fall with October and, like, November, but I digress. So, come September, or at least, I think it was, like, maybe in midsummer where they announced it would be, like, very early September, and, well, now it's arrived, the movie is out, and I really, really enjoy it. So let's actually get into talking about the actual movie itself and, like, the points I like about it, and maybe some things I'm not the biggest fan of. But so the movie in general is introduces a new villain who wants to terrorize Steven and his friends, and her name is Spinel. And just as a quick note, she is, like, absolutely my favorite. I like almost everything about her. She's really, really fun and a really good villain with a lot of character and all that. And I think what I like a lot about her is her, like, callback to old not 2000s, in the 1920s style of animation, also known as the rubber hose animation, because their limbs resemble rubber hose, and she's animated that way, even to the fact that part of her design is meant to resemble Mickey Mouse and his ears, where in her case it's her hair, but, like, no matter which way she faces, her hair always faces the same way, and I really like that. It also seems to be the case that she might also be a reference to Monkey D. Luffy from One Piece, with the fact that she likes to stretch her limbs, and especially the way she fights seems to be a lot like him, which I guess Rebecca Sugar, the creator of Steven Universe, her favorite manga and anime is One Piece, so it wouldn't be surprising at all. And even, like, this fight scene with Spinel, it's almost like the fight scene you'd see if Monkey D. Luffy from One Piece had fused with Maka from Soul Eater, which Soul Eater is, like, kind of a guilty pleasure of mine. I wouldn't say it's, like, one of my favorites or anything, but this is not a video about Soul Eater, so I will get back to the actual subject at hand. But as I was saying, these, like, fight scenes with her are so smoothly animated. And I also learned recently that one of the animators from Studio Trigger worked on it, and Studio Trigger, even though they might not have, like, the best, like, animes, but all of their animes are really nicely animated, especially in, like, action scenes, so it looks really cool. And one of the things I initially didn't care for about the movie is I thought there was too many musical numbers, and that's why I said it should have been Steven Universe the musical, but I've kind of been listening to this soundtrack over and over again, and the songs are really starting to grow on me. They're all really nice, and I think my favorite off the soundtrack is this the villain song from Spinel is Other Friends, but I like it because it's an homage again to, like, the 1920s, and it sounds like a swing song, but it's the more modern style, like electro swing.
What did she say about me? What did she say? What did you do without me? What did you do? Did you play games without me? What did you play? Did you think all this time that I wouldn't find out about you?
and I'm quite a big fan of electro swing. Yeah, this movie's really well animated. I really enjoy the plot. Another thing, like I said, a thing that carries over from the series is I just love the color palette it uses. They're bright and very colorful, so that's always something I liked. And because I can never stay on one topic and always go back to what I wanted to say because I forget to say something, because that's how my brain works. Silly brain. But back to Spinel. When I first watched this, I could have sworn she had a shared voice actor from Cowboy Bebop, the person who did the voice of Edward. But I had to look it up, and she's not the voice of Spinel. Has never done anything like this before. She's not a Broadway actress, but she does a lot of musicals, and I think she does a really good job for her sorry, I cannot speak today. For her first voice acting role, she did a really good job. Like, her voice is all over, like, the different tones and pitches for when the mood calls, especially for a character she's playing where her vocal tones are all over the place. So that's a lot of aspect I liked about the movie, and I don't know if I'm getting my praise across. Like, I absolutely love this. Like, in the first week of this movie coming out, I watched it 4 times. I am insane, but I don't know. I honestly wasn't expect to like this movie as much as I ended up liking it. It just feels, it's just a good bit of an extended story for the series, even though I feel like this movie in general kind of feels like a filler movie, like you would get like with the Dragon Ball movies. Like, it doesn't feel like it has major consequence to the story, but it's kind of in this weird place. I mean, it will probably have impact for the final season, because the series is getting one more season, which honestly, after this, it makes me think what they could possibly do next, especially with the last season, quote-unquote main villain got taken care of. But there's always more story to tell, I guess, and I guess we're going to have to find out. And yeah, I think I kind of talked about all the main points I want to talk about, mostly about like the villain. I don't know what else I could say. I don't know if there's anything I really despised or didn't really too much care for. I mean, I guess some things could have been more expanded upon, if that makes sense. But it's still fine as it is. I'm not gonna claim this movie is an absolute masterpiece that should win every single Oscar. I doubt it'll even get an animation for Best Animated Picture, but we'll see. But to be fair, I don't think there's been any other animated film this year that I can think of right now. So, again, we'll have to see. But I really like this. But another thing is, like, it's hard to recommend a movie like this because it's a movie for the fans. I don't think it's something you can just go and watch without watching the previous series, because that's the kind of way things are. But I don't recommend watching 5 seasons of a series just for a movie, especially when a series like this, which does have really good bits, it also has a lot of low bits in this series.
Give him the bits! The bits! The bits! The bits! The bits! The bits!
Okay. Take it easy on the counter, will you?
And especially that there's not the best way to view this series. Like, the only streaming platform it's on right now is Hulu, I believe. And I don't even think it has the 5th season, so to take my words with a grain of salt. But with that, I think our flight's about to come to an end. So If you passengers, if you'd all do me a favor and just spread love and peace today, and know that I love you, and you should spread love to someone you care about, so take care, and goodbye.